His Divine Grace Abhay Sharanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Shrotra Shatya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Sharanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavavrind ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Jai. प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। Hare Krishna, welcome to the Salan Mandir, ISKCON Detroit, Shrimadbhagavatam reading. Let us start with invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Shrimadbhagavatam, ISKCON Detroit Devasadan Mandir, Shrimadbhagavatam book reading. We are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 10, titled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwaraka. Text 27. Aho bata swar Yasas tiraskari. Aho bata swar yasas tiraskari. Kusasthali punya yasaskari bhuva. Kusasthali punya yasaskari bhuva. Pasyanti nityam yad anugrahesitam. Pasyanti nityam yad anugrahesitam. Smitavalokam swapatim smayat praja. Smitavalokam swapatim smayat praja. Aho bata swar yasas tiraskari. Kusasthali punya yasaskari bhuva. Pasyanti nityam yad anugrahesitam. Smitvalokam swapatim smayat praja. Aho bata swar yasas tiraskari. Kusasthali punya yasaskari bhuva. Pasyanti nityam yad anugrahesitam. Smitavalokam swapatim smayat praja. Anyone would like to repeat? Aho bata swarya sasastiraskari. Kusasthali punya yasaskari bhuva. Pasyanti nityam yad anugrahesitam. Smitavalokam swapatim smayat praja. Let us go word by word. Aho bata. How wonderful this is. Swa yashasaha. The glories of the heavenly planets. Tiraskari. That which defeats. Kusasthali. Dwaraka. Punya. Virtue. Yashaskari. Famous. Bhuva. The planet Earth. Pasyanti. See. Nityam. Constantly. Yat. that which Anugraha isitam to bestow benediction, Smitavalokam glance with the favor of sweet smiling, Swapatim onto the soul of living being Krishna. Sma used to Yat Praja the inhabitants of the place. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Sharanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwaraka has defeated the glories of heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwaraka are always seeing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. Please repeat. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwaraka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwaraka are always seeing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. Purport. The heavenly planets are inhabited by demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna and Vayu, and the pious souls reach there after performance of many virtuous acts on earth. Modern scientists agree that the timing arrangement in higher planetary systems is different from that of the earth. Thus, it is understood from the revealed scriptures that the duration of life there is 10,000 years by our calculation. 6 months on earth is equal to 1 day on the heavenly planets. Facilities of enjoyment are also similarly enhanced, and the beauty of inhabitants is legendary. Common men on the earth are very much fond of reaching the heavenly planets because they have heard the comforts of life are far greater there than on the earth. They are now trying to reach the moon by spacecraft. Considering all this, the heavenly planets are more celebrated than the earth. But the celebrity of earth has defeated that of heavenly planets because of Dwaraka, where Lord Sri Krishna reigned as king. 3 places, namely Vrindavana, Mathura and Dwaraka, are more important than the famous planets within the universe. These places are perpetually sanctified because whenever the Lord descends on the earth, He displays His transcendental activities, particularly in these 3 places. They are perpetually the holy lands of the Lord, and the inhabitants still take advantage of the holy places even though the Lord is now out of their sight. The Lord is the soul of all living beings, and He desires always to have all the living beings in their Swarupa, in their constitutional position, to participate in transcendental life in His association. His attractive features and sweet smiles go deep into the heart of everyone, and once it is so done, the living being is admitted into the kingdom of God, from which no one enters. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The heavenly planets may be very famous for offering better facilities of material enjoyment, but as we learn from Bhagavad Gita 9.20-21, one has to come back again to the earth planet as soon as the acquired virtue is finished. Dwaraka is certainly more important than the heavenly planets because whoever has been favored with the smiling glance of the Lord shall never come back again to this rotten earth, which is certified by the Lord Himself as a place of misery. Not only this earth, but also all the planets of universes are places of misery, because in none of the planets within the universe is there eternal life, eternal bliss, and eternal knowledge. Any person engaged in devotional service of the Lord is recommended to live in one of the above mentioned 3 places, namely Dwaraka, Mathura or Vrindavana. Because devotional service in these 3 places is magnified, those who go there to follow the principles in terms of instructions imparted in the revealed scriptures surely achieve the same result as obtained during the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. His abode and He Himself are identical, and a pure devotee under the guidance of another experienced devotee can obtain all the results even at present. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Devasan Mandir Iskandar Troy Shrimadbhagavatam reading, book reading. Today we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 10, Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka, Text 27. Let us go through translation once again. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwarka are always seeing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. So, yesterday we have seen how the ladies on the rooftops of Hastinapur, supremely glorified is the dynasty of King Yadu, and how virtuous is the land of Mathura, where the supreme leader of all living beings, the husband of goddess of fortune, has taken his birth and wandered his childhood. So they were glorifying the holy place of Krishna, Mathura and Vrindavana, because how wonderful is that place where Lord himself has present there, and he did amazing wonderful pastimes over there, many pastimes over there, as we see from starting onwards. Like when he was small baby, he killed many demons like Putana, Shaktasura, Arishtasura, Agasura, and many demons. And also he lifted Govardhana hill for 7 days and 7 nights. And we famously see Damodar Leela, where he delivered 2 souls, Nalakuvera and Manigriva. So it's very amazing. The ladies were glorifying the holy importance of Mathura and Dwaraka. And yesterday they spoke about Mathura, how wonderful is that King Yadu dynasty. And today they were discussing how wonderful is this Dwaraka, which has defeated even the glories of heavenly planets, like where demigods reside, like Indra, Chandra, Varuna. They all reside at this planets. That planets, Dwaraka, even though it is on the earth, but it defeated the heavenly planets, which has enhanced the celebrity of the earth, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And all the Dwaraka Vasis, like inhabitants of Dwaraka, are always seeing the soul of all living beings. They are not on a bodily platform, they are completely on the spiritual platform and on soul platform. They see everyone as a soul who is a part and parcel of Supreme, and which is a loving feature of Krishna. And Krishna also reciprocates with them, and he glances at them and he favors them with his sweet smiles. See how even in our daily lives, if we see a small young child smiling cutely, small baby, we feel very much amazed and wonderful. So when Supreme Lord himself, he took the form of a small baby and he wandered here and there in that place, how wonderful it could be and how glorious it could be of the fortune of the Dwarkavasis and Vrindavana and even Dwaraka, where he ruled the kingdom is ruled by Supreme Lord himself. So how glorious it could be and how fortunate the people could be witnessing Supreme Lord daily. Jai Shri Shri Radha Kunti Hari, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baldev, Jai Subhadra Mai, Jai Shri Shri Gavanita, Jai. So, how wonderful it could be. So people there are completely in the trance of Krishna. So, because they were not actually, even in the Vrajavasis, in the case of Vrajavasis, they were completely immersed in the Krishna trance and they were just treating Krishna as a small little boy who has some mystic powers, but they don't know that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Supreme Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has made all the Vrajavasis to be immersed in his trance, because if he want to experience the loving nature of the Vrajavasis and all the inhabitants of Vrindavana and all the inhabitants of Dwaraka, when he started ruling the kingdom after he defeated Kamsa, he took over the Mathura and then he ruled over Mathura and he built a capital city named Dwaraka with the help of famous architect demigod and Vishwakarma. So he built such a big city, Dwaraka, such that no king would be dare enough to come for a war and defeat Krishna, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can do whatever he likes to, and he built an amazing empire, Dwaraka, which is so fortunate and so glorious. Every house in Dwaraka, every palace in Dwaraka, it was very opulent, very, very opulent. Krishna himself has, we all know, Krishna got married to 16,108 queens. He has 16,108 queens. Everyone is having a palace made of gold and many opulent jewelry like diamonds and many pearls. So it was very, very opulent city. Dwaraka is very opulent city. So by this opulence and presence of Krishna, it has even defeated the heavenly planets, where Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Agni and all other demigods reside. Still, this Dwaraka is far superior than the heavenly planets. And we see many pious souls after rendering so much of their service, they elevate to the heavenly planets, which is also part of material world, but still it is on a higher level. And many modern scientists consider this timing arrangement in higher planetary systems is quite different from the current Earth that we follow, which is revealed from a scripture. Like duration of life there is 10,000 years, and all the years calculation is done in celestial years in that. And our 6 months time on the earth is equal to just 1 day on the heavenly planets. And even facilities of enjoyment are also similarly enhanced. And whatever the facilities that we have over this earth, and when we compare this with the heavenly planets, those are far and far superior. In heavenly planets, you can't even imagine still it is a material world, but all the demigods and all their respective kingdoms and all the respective kingsmen and they were much more opulent than the earth. And it's a beauty of inhabitants is legendary. Like, as you all know how demigods reside in a planet and how they rule over that planet. And so by hearing about these heavenly planets, many people around us, like common men, they are very much fond of getting to that, and they go on practicing pious activities, and after a certain age they will completely engaged in doing pious activities, curing pious credits, so that they believe that probably next life we would be elevating to heavenly planets where we could enjoy a lot and where we could spend a lot of time. But they don't understand that whatever the pious credits they have accrued, that itself takes them to heavenly planets. But the amount of pious credits they have is very less, and that less quantity determines how much time they are going to stay in that heavenly planets. Because even though you have accumulated so low, like tons and tons of like pious credits, assume, but as we see, like there is a time difference between Earth and heavenly planets. So if you spend one day in the heavenly planet, it is almost equal to 6 months on this Earth. So even though if you have acquired a lot of pious credits, but still you could stay only for a limited time period of like 1 month or 1 year over there. And then once the pious credits have been the results of the pious credits have been accrued, and you got benefited out of it, again after that balance is completed, and again you are dropped down to material earth, down to earth, and you have to take birth again in this material world earth, or in a very lower planets as well, based on what activity that you have performed in that specific period where you stayed in that heavenly planet. If you just go there and if you try to enjoy all the opulences, and if you forget like worshipping of the Lord and carrying out devotional service, then there is a high risk of losing that opulence or position, and again getting back to the world of miseries onto the earth. And we may don't know, like depending on the activities that you do, we may acquire a body of an animal, plant, or any species, or maybe a human birth again. So this is very important, that what are the activities that we need to focus upon, even acquiring some opulences or some like heavenly bodies. So we need to much more focus on what we have to do, what is our constitutional position. So even Prabhupada stresses here, like nowadays scientists are trying to reach the moon by spacecraft. By considering all these, the heavenly planets are more celebrated than the earth. But here the contrasting thing is, like in even on the earth, where during the time of Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he has descended into this earth and appeared in this earth, and he has done his transcendental leelas, pastimes on this planet Earth. So at that time, how wonderful is the land of Vrindavana and Dwaraka, because Dwaraka we have seen how much opulent is this. In the case of Vrindavana, as soon as the Lord decides to appear, the Vrindavana got its shape as much wonderful as possible. And when the Lord got the certain age to go out and gaze the cows, the grass over there was very, very luster and very, very fresh. He, along with Balrama and all his cowherd boys, he used to gaze his cows on the hill of Govardhana, where the Govardhana, which is almost non-different from Krishna, even the cows, when they eat that grass, the Govardhana has acquired the capability of growing the grass immediately the new grass, because it knows that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is gonna wander over that place. So in order to make his lotus feet very comfortable and smooth, not to get hurt for his lotus feet, it immediately supplied the fresh grass, and cows, which are very dear to Krishna, he took care of cows a lot. So cows even reciprocated that. Even before he walks over that land, cows go there and they make that land very fertile and very soft land for him to just walk very smoothly. So how much wonderful is that? And Balrama, being the elder brother of Krishna, protected him at all times. So even the gopis and all the Vrajvasis, they have immensely showered their love towards Krishna, and even though they had much more desire, like all the gopis, gopi girls, so they desired that Krishna is very cute, very sweet. He daily goes to forest. They were completely meditating and absorbing on Krishna. Whenever he goes in the morning, whenever he goes to forest for cow grazing, and when he comes back, they were eagerly waiting to see Krishna, to have darshan of Krishna. So at that time, like gopis had desired that, oh, Krishna is very cute, very sweet. I want this butter to be offered to Krishna. We want to make an offering for Krishna. Krishna has to come and eat. But they did not express it outwardly, because they all knew that Krishna was the son of King Nanda Maharaj. So Maharaj's son, it's just like prince, doesn't come to a common man's place and just take their offerings, honor their offerings. So they were just hesitant, and they were just praying inside and meditating on the Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord being present as Paramatma, as we know in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishto. So he is present in all the living entities as Paramatma, Super Soul. So he understood their desire, and he, along with his cowherd boys, monkeys, and all the playhood friends, they went headed by Sri Krishna. They went to each and every one of gopis' house one day after other, and they started stealing the butter. And Krishna goes there in each and every one of gopis, whether it is tied upward or whether it is hidden, wherever it is there, the butter pot, he could find that easily, and he could break that pot and distribute the butter. He takes some butter, and then first of all he distributes all the butter to his friends, cowherd boys, monkeys, and then later he could eat. So one day what happened, there was some bells tied to a pot, and Krishna was instructing that bells not to ring, because if the bells were ring, all the gopis and all the family members of that house gets alert and they would caught Krishna. So Krishna instructed bells not to ring at that time. So they followed that instruction, and Krishna took that butter and he distributed among all themselves, all the other friends and monkeys. And at last, when he tries to take that butter, the bell started ringing, and Krishna was asking, why did you ring the bell? And to his surprise, the bells answered him, because it was our custom when you are honoring Bhoga, when you are taking the Bhoga, it's our custom to ring, and we ring that when we offer our Bhoga, and when we offer the Bhoga to Krishna, we ring the bell. So it is the custom of, even the bells had that custom following when Lord is honoring that butter, it's the custom of them to ring. So much wonderful is that land. Everyone was very much deeply connected with Krishna, and whenever there is some problem, they face the problem of severe torrents of rain which were caused by Samvartaka clouds, which were sent by Lord Indra, so demigod Indra. So at that time also they were completely took the shelter of Krishna, and they were just praying to Krishna, Krishna, you please protect us. We are just surrendering onto your lotus feet. Please protect us. Then, by understanding all the pain of the Vrajvasis, Krishna immediately took over the control of Govardhana hill and he lifted it, and which became the shelter of all the Vrajvasis for a week span. And after a week span, Lord Indra got his realization that this boy was not an ordinary person and he was the supreme personality of Godhead himself, and he realized his mistake and came down from heavenly planet. So this signifies how much important is the land of Vrindavana, Mathura and Dwaraka, because Krishna himself is present over there, and it is no longer a material place, and it is equal to the spiritual planet Golok Vrindavana. And it is far more superior than Golok Vrindavana, because Krishna has present here and had performed his transcendental leelas, which were very pleasing to all the inhabitants of Vrajvasis. And even today, when we glorify the activities of Krishna, we feel an immense pleasure out of it. So that's the significance of these dhams like Vrindavan Dham, Mathura Dham and Dwaraka Dham. So these places are perpetually sanctified, because whenever the Lord descends on earth, he displays his transcendental activities, particularly in these three places. These are the holy places, and all our 6 Goswamis, and they discovered many places of places where this transcendental leelas of Krishna took place. And we see now in Vrindavana how much beautiful temples are located, and how many pilgrims and how many devotees are worshipping Lord Krishna day by day. And it's been a very rapid growth in the number of devotees those are visiting the holy dhams. And our mood in visiting the holy dham is just not sightseeing or something, but we should engage all our senses in meditating the Supreme Lord by going there, worshipping Lord, and even associating with saintly persons over there, and try to acquire some knowledge by submissively asking them about the holy dham, what is the speciality of holy dham. And the people over there are very pleasant, and they were very much helpful and very much encouraging. So whatever you submissively ask them with your humility, your humbleness, they will even reciprocate with that, and they try to even explain you more and more, such that you will be experiencing the blissfulness when you are in that dham. So the Lord is the soul of all living beings, and he desires always to have all the living beings in their swarupa, because we know, like we are the soul and part and parcel of Supreme Lord. Our constitutional position is eternally serving the Supreme Lord, eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. So even Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he eagerly waits for us when this soul will turn back to me, when my lost child will come to me, when he will come back to me, back to Godhead. So he'll be eagerly waiting us, and he will be sending his associates in the form of acharyas to help us and to uplift us. He himself descends in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in spreading the holy name of the Lord. And because after his departure from this material world in the Dwapar Yuga, then he feels like there is something I missed out in uplifting my devotees. So I have to descend myself again as a form of devotee, and I have to show practically as me, as a perfect example of me, and how to perform devotional service, how to spread the holy name as we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with Lord Nityananda as an incarnation of Balarama, how much eager they are to spread the holy name to all the people without any discrimination. Lord Nityananda being so merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he even had dare enough to go to Jaga and Mother, who are the sinners of sinners. They has committed a lot of sins that even they did not leave one single sin that hasn't been committed by them. Every sin that is been recorded, that has been a type of sin, they have committed that. So still, Lord Nityananda wants to deliver them by giving the holy name to them. So he was very determined, and he approaches them and he delivers the both Jaga and Madhai, and they transform themselves into great devotees of the Lord, and they were active in preaching the message of this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whoever reaches his spiritual abode never returns to this material planet once again. And even if we see in the 9th chapter, text 20 and 21, Krishna says that in text 20, Traividya mam somapaha puta papa yagnerisva swargatim pratayante te punyam asadya surendra lokam asnati divyan dhivideva bhogan. So those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeing the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly, purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. So here studying the importance of studying Vedas and acquiring getting elevated to the heavenly planets is Krishna is saying they just worship me indirectly. They just worship demigods, but above the demigods, and who is the power-giving potent of the demigods? He is the Supreme Lord himself. So whoever worships demigods himself, they are purified of all sinful reactions. So they just take birth on the pious and heavenly planet of Indra, where they could enjoy more and more delights. And in text 21, Tetam bhuktva swarga lokam vishalam chine punye matya lokam visanti evam traidharmam anuprapanna gata gatam kama kama labante. So when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of 3 Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So Krishna clearly mentions that when we acquire that heavenly planet and we overly enjoy as per the pious credit limit of ours, when the pious credit limit of ours is exhausted and it comes to null, then again we fall down from that heavenly planet and we take the birth in this material planet. Because at that time you did not use that opportunity to raise more, even far superior than heavenly planets is the spiritual world. You did not acquire that. So you have not utilized that opportunity, so it's again you will be kept in the trap of birth and death, which is in the material world as mortal planet. So also those who seek more sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of 3 Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Even though they seek some pleasure out of it, but still that is temporary. So one has to understand what gives me eternal pleasure, what is that happiness that gives me permanent happiness, and there won't be any disturbances caused by that. And so the devotees who try to meditate on the Supreme Lord, who try to engage all their senses onto the Supreme Lord, and that completely immersed in engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, wherever they are placed, they don't mind getting the heavenly planets or even in the material world or even in the spiritual planets also. They don't care. Wherever they are, they wanted to meditate on the Supreme Lord, and they just want to engage in the service of the Supreme Lord. That's it. They don't mind whichever the planet they are in, but they are just where they even pray to Krishna, the pure devotees, that Krishna, wherever I am not even bothered, wherever I am being placed, but I am just concerned if I am not engaged in the service of Lord. As we see in the examples of Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruv Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, actually he was meditating on the Lord Vishnu to acquire much more kingdom than his grandfather. But after seeing the Lord, he says like, "Oh Lord Vishnu, I have seen your form. I'm praying for a broken glass, but I found a diamond. I don't have any desire now. I just want to surrender onto your lotus feet." But merciful Lord gives him the planet which is eternal. Even while the destruction, annihilation happens, it doesn't get destroyed. It is like eternal, and it is kind of spiritual planet, Dhruva Loka, as we see in the North Pole star. So that is the planet that is being acquired by Dhruva, by the mercy of Supreme Lord. So that is the potency of that. Yeah, because even in this material world, Krishna himself says like, this is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, and is a place of misery and is temporary. So whatever the time that is being, we are kept in this material world, we have to use it wisely and try to get out of this material entanglement and cycle of birth and death. When we try our sincerely to the best of our abilities in serving the Lord and in chanting His names offenselessly, we try to take His shelter of His lotus feet, then everything gets sorted automatically. You don't have the fear of death, you don't have any anxieties, you don't have any, even though you face some problems, it will just come and go, but it will not cause any effect to your devotional service or your sadhana, anything. When you are being protected by the devotees association, then nothing could, even Maya could not touch you, and it could not affect you in any way. So we have to see that how important is the association of devotees, and how important is even in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami mentions that residing in dhams is also most important. We know it is not possible for everyone to stay, but we can spend our time in visiting the places, in spending some quality time in worshipping the deities over there, and we can experience that blissfulness where the Lord has Himself descended and performed the pastimes like Govardhan Leela, Kalyadaman Leela near the banks of Yamuna. So by going there and by rendering our service to the saintly persons over there, we get more and more purified. So any person engaged in devotional service of the Lord is recommended to live in one of the above mentioned three places, namely Dwaraka, Mathura or Vrindavana. Because whatever devotional service, even little service that you that you perform in these places, it is being magnified. As we see in the example of Ekadashis, when you try to render small service on Ekadashis, it gives us multiplied results, like by thousands and thousands of times. Similarly, when you reside in a dham and when you try to render your service to the temples over there, or when you try to associate with saintly persons, that intensifies our devotional service and also gives us enormous results. So we have, and if we cannot go there, we can try to meditate on that place, and we can even know about that place and discuss about the holy dham, Vrindavan, Dwaraka, Mathura by regularly studying Shrimadbhagavatam and even hearing about the pastimes of Lord, hearing about speciality of dhams. So it is very important. And many instructions were imparted in the revealed scriptures, which surely achieve the same result as obtained during the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. Even Lord Sri Krishna was present before 5,000 years ago, but still now, even now we are discussing the pastimes of his transcendental leelas and the places which signified his appearance. So his abode and he himself are identical. So there is no difference between he and his abode. So, and a pure devotee under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master or another experienced devotee can obtain all the results even at present. So, we see many acharyas, many saintly personalities, many leaders, spiritual leaders, they quite often visit this Vrindavan Dham, Mathura Dham, Dwarika Dham, and even now Deep Mayapur Dham, Purushottam Shrit Jagannath Puri Dham. So, the amount of bliss or the experience that we can not express in words, but we have to experience it on our personal opinion, and that journey is amazing and wonderful. So I would like to conclude today's text by just saying that how important is the holy place and in rendering devotional service, and also amount of even in Vrindavana, if you go, Srimati Radharani is very much pleased, and we should be very careful in while visiting that, while going there and visiting their place, because any small service you will be acquiring many magnified results, and also any offense that you do there will even cause a great damage to your devotional service. So we have to be very careful, and we have to be in an association of devotees, so we don't commit any offenses when we travel with the devotees and when we are under the protection of devotees. So yeah, I would like to conclude by saying these words. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah. Any comments, questions, realizations?
Very nice experience about Dwarika and pastimes of Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Grantharat Shrimadbhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.